it was things that I was hearing for the first time that were aligning with visions and feelings that I had on my. It felt very confirmatory, and it felt familiar, and your voice felt familiar, and your face felt familiar. You have a very king man distinctive face. And I also felt this about Larry Hoover. So I'm from LA, born and raised. And I was not feeling good about this concert. I wasn't feeling good about this concert because, as you spoke a little bit about in the interview, there's a lack of leadership. So we have these my peers, okay, who don't know who Larry Hoover is. They don't recognize the connection to them. And I feel like there's information getting lost in translation. Are you following?
It is. I know exactly where you're coming from. Just to give you some confirmation, I woke up this morning and Mama said, you have to go and explain to them what this whole free Larry Hoover battle cry means. It's more than free Larry Hoover. Free Larry Hoover is a bigger thing than Larry Hoover as an individual, because with him, it comes free Assata Shakur, bring her home. It comes that trumped up case that you did on Malachi York, bring Malachi York home. Chief Malik Angel Bay, trumped up charges, bring him home. H. Rap Brown, who we know is Imam Jamal Alameen, that trumped up case, bring him home. Larry is the spokesperson for all political prisoners right now. He is the spokesperson for all indigenous clans seeking to reclaim their liberation right now. This has nothing to do with gangbangers. Because they took the tribes, villainized the tribes of the land, tried to tell us we came on ships, and they didn't think we would ever be able to figure out what they were doing to us, because they was doing it in secret. So because they was doing it in secret, and then they used the paper to mislead us. What do I mean by that? They hold jurisdiction is what you call an assumed jurisdiction in law. Most of us don't know legalese. The corporate America that we are under does not have the jurisdiction over the sovereign beings of the land. The government already acquiesced and ceded its jurisdiction over tribal lands. Indigenous Rights Act of 2017 is where it's written at in their law. The world governments have agreed, which goes back to the Indigenous Rights Act of the United Nations. Our job and our responsibility is to tell these people, them some frauds, and everybody they telling you is a fraud is the real people. They telling us Big Tukey was a murderer when the police killed them people the same way they set up Geronimo Pratt. And you see it took Johnny Cochran almost 30 years to get Geronimo Pratt out, and everybody know who read the case file that Geronimo Pratt was set up by the police. The police did the murders. The MO in the case file is almost identical to Big Tukey case. The only difference is they got a motherfucker look like us feeding him sherm sticks, so that he can be catatonic, so he can't say whether he did shit or not. So while Tukey is incapacitated, these police go kill somebody in the liquor store and say it was a robbery. Anybody that know LA culture should have knew that that doesn't make sense. Because he the OG on the land, and what do? You show homage to the OG. He didn't need no money.
Right.
Any one of the dudes on the street would have did the dirt for him. He put in his work already. He was OG status now. His YG's got to put in the work. LA culture, right? And when the YGs get stuck, they go consult with the OGs, right? Okay, so this LA culture, that doesn't fit the culture. It doesn't fit the character of the man. It doesn't fit the character of the people. But when you lay the two cases out, Geronimo Pratt case, and you lay out Big Tukey case, you won't be able to distinguish who case you read. So they took all the leaders that we picked and called them gang leaders. And everything they accused Tukey, Jeff Ford, Larry Hoover, and all of the rest of them of is what they were actually doing themselves. And they got caught red-handed.
And now the leadership is gone.
Right. So now we in what you call a transitional phase. Because those military generals that swore the oath to the Constitution, they didn't swear an oath to the corporation. They oath is sworn to we the people. And then they discovered it, and they can't allow their subordinates to go along with the bullshit. But we have a responsibility on the land, each one teach one. We got to let this be known what's going on. So free Larry Hoover, I want to say it don't got nothing to do with Larry Hoover, but he is instrumental.
I see now. And then so the gang, even the conversation about the gang, that's just throw off.
Right. That's what you call it. That's called a red herring.
Right. Okay. And now, so what's happening now in LA is more throw off and confusion because there's no leadership. Nobody is articulating comprehensively what's happening here and what the direction is here. Does that make sense?
Actually, there is leadership, and I'm going to show you where it's at. That concert we seen last night was a free Larry Hoover concert. Drake is from Canada. Kanye from Chicago. All of the OGs had to sign off on it. Because they in on it because a lot of the OGs in California, when the COINTELPRO came, California was hit the hardest. It's more of our leaders from the land in prison in California from the COINTEL mission because of the stronghold of the Panthers. It's a community revolution in progress. These brothers is looking out on death all day long, and they fed the fuck up. So what are they doing now? They telling us that they just decided to up one day and start looting stores. The police in LA just issued a statement, don't come to California because it's like a 365-day purge. But notice they ain't going after none of us. The OGs got this shit more organized than we giving them credit for because the system is telling us they are incorrigible gangbangers who have no sense of direction or purpose in life. But they making strategic, militarily minded moves. And the government can't do anything about it because they've been neutralized with the facts. And the fact of the matter is, they are foreign on our land.
Boom. Okay.
So now we got invaders bringing us Bibles, Qurans, and Torahs to keep us in the religious controversy so we can't never see who the fuck we is.
The throw off.
Right. Fuck all them religions. That has nothing to do with us. Just Noble Drew Ali talked about the religious controversy in Circle 7 because he was the Cherokee High Chief. And he wanted us to study some people that's called the Moors.
Yes.
He said, get a good Moorish education. Well,
Mm-hmm.
my Moorish education go back to ancient founding